Welcome, everyone, to the Fireside Football Chat, episode 10, Jay.
10. We're double digits.
We're double digits. You got to love it. Here we are, early November, week 10. Short sleeve shorts again. We were trying to think earlier in the year, how long are we going to be able to stay in this outside? Because we never know what the weather's going to be. Here we are. Man, it's a little warm out here with the fire. But
no lying. Oh, heat miser's coming out from that fire right now.
Exactly.
And plenty warm. What was it, 80 today?
Something like that. No, absolutely. And with that being said, Jay, I don't know if I've ever seen this before, but I can tell you one thing I've never seen. Watched a lot of football just like you since I was a kid. We were lucky, I think by the time I was 11, 12, here comes ESPN. We have highlights galore, and it just evolved. I've got to see some of the greatest running backs play. Highlights, live, everything. But I saw a play that I've never seen before. And we didn't talk this, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know where you're going, my friend.
We're talking video game central here. Saquon Barkley. Tell me that wasn't the baddest.
Oh, my goodness.
Whatever you want to call it. He actually put his life in his own hands.
Oh,
because,
are you kidding me?
You know, when you can turn, it had to be from playing video games. Because you got your Barry Sanders, your Walter Paytons that could run like you would not believe. And I've seen people jump over, people hurdle. That's the thing now. But when you can sit there and turn and go, whoo, backwards, let me tell you.
Chip, I don't know that I would ever consider doing such a thing as jumping over an open flame like this, let alone with NFL behemoths coming my way. He turned his back to them.
He
completely.
did.
Completely to them. I'm just thinking about, like, what button do you hit video game-wise for that? I mean, incredible.
I've never seen anything like it, and I kept going to watch it. I bet you I watched it 50 times.
Jeez.
I was just so enamored by it, and I wanted to see every aspect of the way he came about and just turned in, looked. He didn't just jump instinctively.
And that was after he put, 2 moves on the guy? I mean,
Exactly.
he got the guy to drop his jock twice, or 2 different guys, and then throws that move. It was impressive.
That he lived to see another play,
kidding,
because there were 2 guys there. You don't know what's waiting for you.
And with your back exposed like that.
But anyway, I know you saw it, but if you haven't, take a look, because it's incredible. It's the highlight of all highlights.
Yeah, it's all over the internet.
Anything else out there did you see, Jay?
Well, you know what? In the pros, if we stay in the pros, I did pick the Falcons -2.5 at home against the Cowboys. And
easy peasy.
Yeah.
Almost.
I mean,
almost.
Listen,
it almost came back, but still.
And when I say easy, it felt as though it was easy, although, to your point, they kind of did. Cowboys did work their way back, but it just felt like it was the same old things coming up again with the Cowboys.
And for that reason, Jay, I took them in my poll.
Really?
The Falcons.
Did you?
Yeah, I can't. Look, I'm not a homer.
And you know how I am with this.
No.
I'm not I've never been the guy that's, Cowboys suck.
Yeah,
Cowboys.
yeah.
Listen, my feeling is, you got a team you want to root for, you're entitled to root for that team. So this is not about, like, me, you know this.
People
It's not
do,
me
but
piling on. You know me.
I got it.
It's just,
we're here for the dubs, right?
That's it.
We're here for the dubs.
I'm here for the dubs, and what I saw was still just some of the same old stuff, that quite honestly, don't be surprised if down the line I pick against them again.
Well, I looked at them this week.
I stayed away. Yeah. I stayed away because I thought there was a little bit better in my mind of a game. But
the thing is, too, is we are very familiar with the game this week with the Eagles. And I like to look at them, and I've bet both ways on them because I pay attention and know what they should do. But anyway,
so that was as far as so much of it goes back to the Barkley play that you mentioned. In college, I had Michigan State getting 7.5 at home against Indiana. Michigan State went up 10-0 first quarter. Indiana proceeded to score the next 47 points, I believe, in a 47-10 slaughtering of Michigan State. So I was way, way off there. Duke 21.5 at Miami. I did take the L there. It was close in terms of the spread, but
I still like Duke.
But you know what? It is what it is. And on the other side, Iowa -3.5 at home against Wisconsin. Oh my God! Remember I mentioned about the 40-point games?
Oh yeah.
They went ahead and got themselves another 40-point game. Crushed Wisconsin. It was something like 40-10 or 40-13.
It's incredible.
Exactly sure, but I know it was a lot to a little. Let's put it that way. So, watching my games, and then, of course, my beloved Penn State Nittany Lions up at the game, had to suffer through that first and goal from the 3 extravaganza that was just absolutely brutal. And after they didn't score, I'm going to be honest with you, I left. The people around me, where are you going? Where are you going? I said, if they can't get in from the 1 yard, from 3 yards out, what makes you think they're going to score even if they get the ball back? Not telling people to do it that way, but I've been to a lot of Penn State games.
I get it.
Had that feeling.
And it wasn't a funky feeling either.
It was the opposite of funky. It was like, oh my God, here we go again. Listen, same ending, different script. Same ending, but a different script along the way.
I mean, you know the numbers with those two teams.
Yeah.
I still thought Penn State was going to do it, but
I'll throw the fun fact your way because I know you like fun facts. I've got 2 of them. One I'll throw now, the other we'll get to in the game. Penn State is 7-25 against Ohio State in their last 32 games. Lopsided.
No, I saw another one, less numbers, but like 1-17, but still, it's the same thing. It's not even close.
They've lost 14 of their last 16.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just one of those deals, and quite honestly, I don't know if it's fair for me to say so many, but it feels like in the last, let's call it 10 years, quite a few of those games have been close games.
Right
they should have won in 17, should have won in 18. Would-haves, could-haves, and should-haves, we know that. But if they did, who knows what the team looks like now, because that changes the recruiting landscape.
Yep.
But anyhow, I digress. I could go on and on, and I don't want to hijack any more time. Back to you, Chip.
So before I guess to give you my pick, I have to give you my fun fact.
Let's hear it.
I want to know if you and this is actually, believe it or not, on the college side, but I want to know if you recognize these 2 names. Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield.
Both. Si, senor.
Easy, right?
Si, senor.
They combined for the most yards in a single game at 1,279. Can you imagine that?
Good
I saw that.
God.
Everybody knows the 2 names, but can you imagine? Oh, that's a lot of heaving. Seriously.
1,200 what?
79.
Sweet Jesus.
It's incredible.
That is a fun fact.
I thought it was.
I
thought it was. And here's another fun fact, Joe.
Enjoy the fun facts.
That's right. But this is not really fun. This is about me going with the top 25, picking a team, doesn't look right, why the points.
Yep.
It's worked a couple times.
Sure it has. Absolutely it has.
And because of that, Jay, I got me another one.
What do you got?
Well, we recognize these 2 teams because they've been in and out of our mouths during this podcast over the weeks. The South Carolina Gamecocks are traveling to Tennessee to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has beaten Alabama and Auburn for the first time in who knows how long in the same season. Vandy's ranked number 24th. And they're at home. So why are the Gamecocks giving them 3.5 points, Jay?
Yeah.
Why not, right?
Why not? I know they're playing good defense. I do know that. South Carolina's playing good defense.
But they're still giving 3.5 points to Vandy at home.
Not respecting that home card at all, huh?
Hey, so that's where we're going to go. The South Carolina Gamecocks minus 3.5 against Vandy.
All right.
There you have it.
There you have it. There's the college pick.
Who you got?
I'm going to start you off with Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, minus 6.5 at the reeling, Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Okay, first of all, Minnesota's 7-1 against the spread this season. Rutgers is only completing a measly 53.5% of its passes.
Wow.
Why do I mention that stat? Well, may not bode well for them. Because the Scarlet Knights are 1-11 since the 23-24 season when the quarterback throws at least one interception. I know that it's more Minnesota needs to do more than win. They need to cover the 6.5. But I thought, oh boy, that's an interesting little tidbit. Minnesota's won their last 4, and it could have been 5 if you remember me referencing a few weeks back when the ref had his hand on the flag, right, prepared to throw it before they even kicked the perfect onside kick against Michigan to recover it inside Michigan's 40-yard line with a minute and change left, I believe, with an opportunity to tie. Okay, so it could have been 5, potentially. Rutgers, by the way, they're flat out struggling. I think they've lost, 4 straight. And their training room, it may as well be an infirmary.
Wow.
Oh, the injuries.
The match 4077th.
It's exactly right. And Shiano, the thing is he hasn't been there long enough to recruit the depth yet. So once you get beyond their first string, a lot of their second and third string guys in the Big Ten are liabilities. And it's hurting them right now. Because remember, they come out on fire. Rutgers, I was referencing how tough a team they are. And they are, but again, with some of these teams, once you start cutting out guys from the first string based off, with injuries, they just don't have the depth to compete once you get to their second and third string guys. So in my eyes, folks, I'd sandblast the Golden Gophers here, -6.5 at Rutgers. It's a sleepy noon game, right? The crowd is going to be an absolute non-factor. I mean, really, noon game. They're out of any Big Ten contention. And I think that Minnesota's rushing attack is just, they're set to abuse.
They did me right last week.
Yes, they did.
They gave me the dub in my college game, so I'm good.
They're set to abuse the Scarlet Knights. So happy gaming there to your friends. All right. This should be an easy cover.
Okay.
Next up, went against them last week. I will not do that this week. Okay, listen. Indiana and Kurt Cignetti's Flying Hoosiers right now are the talk of the town, and they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. They continue to impress me. They slaughtered the Spartans last week on their home turf. To me, they've proven that they can do it with the pass. They can do it with the run. They've got a stingy defense. I think they've got a defensive lineman that leads the Big Ten in sacks right now.
Wow.
I mean, they've got players, and this guy, as you know, he brought over several players from James Madison, I think.
Yep.
And by the way, Curtis Rourke back in action, the starting QB back in action. All he did after coming back from the injured thumb, missing, maybe it was a game and a half, maybe it was 2 games. He went 19 of 29, 263 yards and 4 touchdowns, folks. Okay, so back and better than ever. As far as the coach goes, I know they've still got a few games left. Fair. But I'm almost willing to go out right now and say, don't be afraid to hand Cignetti Coach of the Year. I mean, honest to God, what he's done with that football team. You want stout D, they got it. As I said, you want explosive offense, they got that. And they're facing the Michigan Wolverine team who's just, we've been talking week after week about the struggles, particularly on the offensive end.
I like it, though.
I love it. I love it, right? But we know right now this year, Michigan's pig vomit. Okay?
Stink pot.
They're pig vomit, right?
Pig vomit.
They look like pigs and make you want to vomit.
Pig vomit. Right. Love it.
So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not scared. And you're right, Chip. I think it's time to maybe put them into the stink pot.
Into the stink pot.
I know that's, how could you possibly do such a thing with a team that had won the national championship last year? Thanks to Connor Stallions, by the way, may or may not have cheated their way to that, but that's another discussion.
That's a conversation for another time.
And you've heard me talk week after week, as I said, about their anemic offense, but believe it or not, their defense is starting to struggle. they have, as I've referenced before, two guys on the defensive line that will be potential first-round guys. But the rest of the field on the defensive side of the ball are just not getting it done. I mean, I looked at some of the point totals and what they were scored against in the last 4 games. I mean, Michigan to give up 27 points last week. What did they give up? 38 to Oregon? Like, to me, not an indicator of a high-quality defense. And I know that Oregon is a solid offense, no denying that. So as far as I'm concerned, do yourself a favor, folks. Hammer the Hoosiers here, minus 13.5 at home versus the Skunk Bears. There's no reason to doubt the team. Just sit back, relax, and prepare to collect.
There you go.
Last college game I got, I got my beloved Cougs. Now, no, they're not playing in Provo. So we're not going to be dealing with the magic of Provo. They are at Utah. Now, normally, I would stay away from this football game. Normally, I would. But believe it or not, Chip, Utah has lost their last 4. They're 1-4 in Big 12 play, out of any contention for anything. I'm not saying that they're just going to roll over, but I think they're now on to their 3rd-string quarterback. It doesn't look good for them. It really doesn't. He came in last week. I don't know if he threw for 45 yards. I mean, it was a feeble performance. So here, honestly, I expect an easy double-digit win this week.
Is that one of them 10 o'clock games?
Yeah, it is. It is. Right? And, you know, the Cougs quarterback, Jake Retzlaff, he continues his winning ways, taking over the game. He takes over the game with his arm. He does it with his legs. I happened to pay special attention when they played UCF, and he dominated that game. But I've watched him multiple times. The guy can play. He's a player. Fun fact.
Here we go.
Second fun fact, Chip.
I like it.
Yeah, you like them. That BYU Cougars quarterback, Jake Retzlaff, I was referring to, is major college football's only Jewish starting quarterback.
Wow.
How about it, huh? Fun
And
fact.
they're letting them play on Saturday.
Fun fact. Folks, you want cover, I got cover. There's no need to stay up for this late kick as your reference. All right. Gently rest your head on the pillow at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Saturday evening. And rest easy knowing that you'll wake up with your bank account swollen on Sunday.
Swollen?
All right. That's right. Lock it up. Take the Cougs minus 3.5 at Utah. And as for my pro pigskin selection, the Bills are minus 4 at the Colts. Okay. Bills, good. Colts, even with the Audubon New Jersey product, Joe Flacco, meh. Okay? Meh. 2 names, Chip. Josh Allen, James Cook. 1 stat. Josh Allen, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Honest to God, I just look at the line. I'm like, and I know it's beyond the 3. The Colts, or the Bills rather, are just a better football team. They're just a better football team with more dominant players on both sides of the ball. And the Colts have battled. They've battled. They've been in close games
Before. I think they're creeping out of that.
They've lost their last 2, I think. And I think this is right for the
I looked at the Bills, too. I was going to put it in my 3-pack, but I moved away.
I think it's ripe for the picking, folks. Again, just too many horses on each side of the ball. And my God, when you have Josh Allen going for you. Not that Amari Cooper has done much yet, but, they bring him in and running back again. James Cook's been solid. I don't think there's anything to fear here. I really don't, right? So let it loose, gang. Bills minus 4 at the Colts. Hammer the Bills.
I like it, Jay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now, what do you got there, Chip?
We're going to see what happens. Like I said, I like the Bills. They hurt me last week because I think it was game time. Amari Cooper didn't play. And not that it was going to sway, we talk about, but still,
no.
The reason why, because they played the Dolphins. So,
and that was a close game, right?
It ended up being a close game, but stay tuned for the pro picks because there might be some.
Oh, we got a little reference?
Well, maybe.
All right.
So we'll see. Okay, Jay, it's time for some pros.
Pro pigskin.
That's right. And like I said, we're going back to the Buffalo, playing the Fins. That was my only L last week. But that was the game I didn't think I was going to lose. I thought that Buffalo had them in the past, and they're on two different tracks, going to speak. Bills are strong, like you said, great team. Miami, obviously, too, is coming back, but I didn't think I was going to lose that game.
I didn't expect that kind of performance out of Miami.
Exactly.
I'm the guy that talks about not being able to get out of the driveway. The offense can't get out of the driveway. I've repeated that, so I'll own that.
Well, let's hope that they can't get out of the driveway this week.
Because?
Well, I didn't realize this. You do your research, we talk everything, but the DC for the Rams, that's who Dolphins are playing this week. The DC for the Rams. Any idea who that is?
Don Corleone?
Well, Don Corleone, but his grandfather's name is Don.
Don the Jeweler?
Not Don the Jeweler. But this gentleman is named Chris Shula.
Oh, boy.
He's the DC. Guess who has the number one defense in the NFL? Giving up, I think, 13.1 points a game.
Really?
Yeah. I love Pfeil. I did, like I said, it's just poking around doing stuff.
13.1.
Yeah, something like that. He's got them going. I didn't realize.
Where's the guy fall in the Shula line, by the way?
He is David Shula's son.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Which
David is son of
Don. Yeah. And then Mike Shula.
Don, the great Dolphins coach.
Dolphins coach,
Only
undefeated.
team
Absolutely.
in the NFL.
That's great. That's a great family tree right there.
Are you kidding me?
Chris Shula played with Sean McVay at Miami.
Okay. All right.
But he's worked so it made me go, let me see what he's about. Yeah. I looked him up.
Digging.
He's got a nice little path to the NFL, starting to college, but I like the fact that he has that name, and I didn't know it until now. He's not playing on it. Right. So with that being said, I'm taking the Rams -1 against the Fins.
He likes the Rams.
That's right. So now it's time.
Yeah, get it out.
It's
We're going
time.
one at a time.
It's time to massage the 8-ball. Oh, it's time. We'll flip it around, smack it up, flip it. And it says, I thought we get away with it.
We got to track this eventually about, with its positives and negatives.
Yeah.
Because you were, 3-1 last week?
3-1.
Very nice.
But I only do this on the pros.
I don't
do
pros.
But we can start doing it if we had to. But yeah. But yeah, I think it was funny. The first couple of weeks, it seemed like everything was positive. But then it started, which I like that.
Which has kind of been in our favor.
Yeah, exactly. Which is fine. Hey, I'll take it. It is decidedly so, Jay.
It is decidedly so,
right.
Isn't it?
There we
it's
go.
kind of the way I feel.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing something different because something just jumps out at me. I usually don't mess around with the over-unders.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
It's a toss-up. And the reason I'm going to go with this game, because I have two games I was going to pick from, because I was looking at the San Fran against Tampa Bay, but not knowing if the guy I drafted #1 in our fantasy football draft is actually going to come back this week. He had a no pain, limited practice. McCaffrey. If he was in, I'd probably go with San Fran at home, get a little adrenaline push.
A little jolt.
Yeah. So the Chiefs are giving up big numbers to Denver this week.
I know.
I think around 8 points.
God, I saw that. No respect.
And I'm not sure. I mean, they didn't cover last week, Kansas City. Everybody thinks they're going to blow everybody out, but they have a good defense.
They do.
So does Denver. So that's what made me look at that line. Well, I looked at it, I'm like, okay, but it makes it even more enticing. Yeah, because I love rooting for points. I don't like rooting against no scoring.
I know. Can make for a boring game.
But, Jay.
Unless you're a defensive-minded guy.
Yeah, well, exactly. However.
You're a winning kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the dub.
Let's shoot them up. But, Jay, I thought this was abnormally low.
Goodness gracious.
41.5. Now, Kansas City's got, I think, the 10th, not across the board, but they're right there with the offense. They're steady. They got it. They're not lighting up there like they used to, but their defense is good, and so is Denver's. and they're going into Kansas City. So I'm going to take the under 41.5.
Okay.
Because I think it's going to be, because think about it, 21-17 does it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if they can shut down Bo Nix and keep that number down even more, I think Spags is going to have something for Bo. I like Bo. He's hanging in there and they're doing well.
27-14 does it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're right.
Just saying.
There I am, under 41.5 in the Chiefs-Broncos game.
Is that our first over-under this year? I feel like.
I think so. I know. I haven't picked one.
I know I haven't.
No, it just jumped out at me.
I've done a couple player.
Yeah, exactly.
Picks,
Yeah. But it jumped at me, and I just said, you know what? Let's switch it up. Because nothing really jumped that much with me, so that's what I'm going to do.
The Sharks had a lot of the numbers right, you feel like. Okay.
Hey, we'll see what happens. So, my last pick, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jumping on the train. The Lions train.
The Lions.
Lions. Listen, we're in week 10. Things are starting to shape up. Injuries are in.
Mm-hmm.
People are falling by the wayside, but guys are cut. You're seeing who's what. And
cream is starting to rise.
Without my man Nico with the Texans, Stroud, you can't ride him. I mean, talking about a sophomore jinx.
Yeah, but
it's not only his fault.
It's not him. With Nico Collins out, that guy's a difference maker.
Oh,
he really is. And listen, you know this from watching the Eagles, because you watch them.
I watch them. I watch every Eagles game.
Remember those years? It was Todd Pinkston.
Yep.
It was wide receiver A, wide receiver B, and then all of a sudden T.O. comes in.
And what happened?
Difference maker.
It was like a switch.
He had whatever it was, 16 touchdowns that year. I might be under on that, but most importantly, Super Bowl bound with the hammer down.
It was like James Thrash who?
Just got him. James Thrash just got him right over the top. So I bring that up because he is a dog. Nico Collins is a dog. He can flat out play. And when you don't have one of those guys, it can make a difference. And right now, it's just too much of this.
He's on my fantasy team, Nico. Think about it. McCaffrey picked him number 1, hasn't sniffed the field, and Nico, another guy. So I think I'm hurting a little bit, but it's all right. So I'm going to go jump on the Lions. When you got running backs throwing passes for touchdowns.
Yeah. What's the number?
3.5.
3.5.
When you got Jared Goff, who, if you remember when him and Wentz came into the league, they were the only 2 quarterbacks. Obviously, Goff didn't work out in L.A., but he probably could have. He's seems like he's money.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm going out with the Lions minus 3.5 at the Texans.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I mean, you got MCDC coach, and Dan Campbell's a savage, man. I mean, he's an
Yeah, he is.
He's an absolute
Straight
savage.
Bite your leg.
Yeah. I like what they've got weapons. I mean, they have weapons on that team. Oh, they're going to bring Jahmyr Gibbs out? No big deal. We'll bring in David Montgomery.
That's right.
Help yourself. You got
That's
the
a
wideouts.
tandem.
You got, I think Laporta's back now. They've got some players, man.
All they need is Megatron. Take them over the top.
Are you kidding me?
So I got a little happy with the under in the Kansas City game, and we forgot to do the 8-ball. So we're going to go back to that real quick and then go to the Detroit.
Yep.
But I got a little happy with picking the points.
We're all jazzed up here. Everybody's excited.
Hey,
we're
I'm
in the season.
Human. You're human. I'm human.
Listen.
Jason's human over
We're
there.
here by the fire.
Exactly.
No big deal. It's 80 degrees.
So we're gonna go with the under in the Kansas City Denver game, under 41.5.
What'd she say?
Very doubtful.
No, doubtful. There's
okay.
a negatory.
It's okay.
We're okay with the negatory.
I think I'm better than
started to hit a
8-ball
streak.
anyway. Hey, that's all right.
Started to hit a streak with the negatory.
And then we're gonna go with the Lions. Minus 3.5 at the Texans.
MCDC's Lions.
That's right. What do we got? Yes! So there you go.
There you go. Motor City Dan Campbell would agree.
There you go. It's going to be a lot of good watching this week. So, what do you think? Our new Mr. Money Night started off, came out of the gate nicely with a win.
How about about it?
That's right,
Congratulations to you, Mr. Monday.
That's right.
New Mr. Monday Night.
You're back. Let's see what Mr. Monday Night has this week.
Hello, sports fans. This is the new Mr. Monday Night, brought to you exclusively by the Fireside Football Chat. Last week, we were able to give you not one, but two winners in the same game. And there's no stopping us now, so let's get right into this week's action. This week, we have the Miami Dolphins visiting the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are 1.5-point favorites. My thought this week is that we're not going to overthink this. As our friend Chip likes to say, sometimes when the line looks too easy, there's a reason for it. But guess what? Sometimes there's not. We can look at this 100 different ways, but the Rams are clearly the better team. The Rams have won 3 in a row. The Rams are 3-1 at home. The Rams are getting healthy. The Dolphins, they've lost 3 in a row. The Dolphins are 1-3 on the road. I know Tua is back, but honestly, he really doesn't impress me. The Rams have the better coach. All signs point to the Rams. Let's not overthink this one this week, okay? Play the Rams and take it to the window.
Well, Jay, like we said, double digits, episode 10 in
Who'da
the books.
thunk? Double
on a
digits.
balmy November, early November night.
Gorgeous November.
That's
evening,
right.
November the 6th.
We
Just
may have a
glorious.
treat next week for our viewers if you've been paying attention.
Oh.
Yeah, we might have a little treat if you stay tuned. We've been messing around with a little logo, and we might roll it out next week. We'll see what happens, either this week or next week. But it's something that we wanted to be a little uniformed.
I hope so.
You know, no helmets, but
like
we're gonna so we'll see what
like
happens. We
it.
both like
helmets
it.
are down the line. Maybe playoff time.
And we'll put the mouthpiece in. But Jay, good job.
Yeah.
Episode 10. We'll see you next week.
Have a great week, guys.
Thanks for coming.